Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus, homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming, homage to Master Sakya Zhengkong, homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa, and homage to Master Dubden Dorji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the Padma Kumara of the Maha Twin Lotus Ponds. Sumo, Danzan Ketso, Tutan City, all Dhamma masters, Dhamma educators, Dhamma teachers, Dhamma lecturers, Dhamma assistants, directors of temples and chapters, and all disciples present here and over the webcast. Happy New Year. How do you do? Aistero. Sarangi. Te quiero mucho. Sugoi. Sí. This is about a merit dedication. Merit dedication to all the disciples who join in the 24-hour merit dedication. We pray that our lineage Guru will stay healthy, live a long life, continue to turn the Dhamma wheel to benefit and deliver innumerable sentient beings. We please bless the spiritual centers so that our Dharma work can flourish and that all participants would enhance their merits and wisdom and have attainments in their spiritual cultivation. Now I would like to announce the first True Buddha School education class is now formally started in online in the clouds, and we welcome all True Buddha School disciples to join, and also all people everywhere. Announcement by True Buddha Foundation Education Department. True Buddha School online education.
现在通知大家，下一个礼拜天
For next Sunday,
10号
January 10th,
下午3点
3 p.m.
是除瘟疫度母
There'll be the Homa of Tara who dispels epidemics.
那除瘟疫度母，大家知道
We all know
历度21度当中一个非常重要的一个度母。
it's a very important Tara of the 21 Taras, especially now that the pandemic is raging, and especially the mutated virus from England and Africa and Congo S virus. I heard there is a S virus from Congo that has a 90% death rate, and it's still quite unknown to us what kind of virus that is. It's already in Africa, has a very high death rate. So therefore, the ceremony of Tara dispels epidemics is extremely important. So if you have good conscience, you should become primary supplicants. But those who are not primary supplicants also have clear conscience, but they don't have enough money. So we've been we've been plagued by the coronavirus for almost a year now, and we hope that the epidemic or the pandemic will be controlled soon. So I hope you become primary supplicants. So today we had the Homa of Padma Kumara, and we hope that the bright radiance of Padma Kumara shine upon the whole world, may it be able to attract all people and bless them with good health and all wishes fulfilled, calamities transformed into auspiciousness and strong spiritual commitment. So they are unaffected by the invasion of the pandemic. So they are being enveloped and protected by the net of light, and all the viruses are shielded outside that net of light. So we are grateful to Padma Kumara and Tara who dispels epidemic. And prior to the Dharma teaching, would like to share a joke. In the hospital, there are two assistant, like resident, and they are kissing in the resting room. And it was caught by an old doctor. And then these two interns failed. And the note was that their CPR positions are not correct. Now we'll do the question and answer. Question from Indonesia, Lian Hua Jifen. Amitabha. How do you do? Of the 21 Taras, which Tara emanated Tara who dispels epidemics? Thank you, Grandmaster. Let me tell you, of the 21 Taras, there are 21 Taras, not 22, and not 20, just 21 exactly. And the whole group is Green Tara. The whole body is Green Tara. And according to the legend in Tibet, is Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, being compassionate toward sentient beings, shed 2 drops of tears, and 1 tear transformed into green Tara, and the other drop transformed into white Tara. So 21 Taras are the same as the compassionate emanation of Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. This was asked by Lian Hua Jifen from Indonesia. Next question from Taiwan. Lian Hua Maji. Maji.
马吉，莲花马吉，我实在很想叫它莲花马吉。
I really want to call him Lian Hua Muaji, like Moji.
一定有人叫你马吉。
I'm sure people call you Muaji.
最出名的马吉。
The very famous Taiwanese Moji.
晚做马吉，还有鹿港。我们有
From Wanzhou or Lugang. We have a disciple who sells this mochi in Lugang town. Every time I go to Lugang, pass by his store, they would give me lots of mochi. And he knows that it's very dangerous for elderly people to eat mochi. If you just swallow the whole mochi, and before it goes down, you take another one, they all will get stuck in the throat. Then it'll be easy. And very fast you will get to the Western paradise. So your elderlies have to be careful when they eat mochi. The questions, Peace be with you, Grandmaster. I have two questions. One, Grandmaster, during every group practice or ceremony, would say which yidam, which Buddhas or Bodhisattvas, or which Buddhas or Bodhisattvas retinues who descend. So I'm confused because I think that everywhere there are Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Why do you say descend? Does it mean that before they descend, then there are no deities at this place? This is a good question. This mochi is incredible. Because which deity we practice, then typically speaking, that deity will descend. The spirit lights, or the so-called Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, are omnipresent. The so-called all-encompassing sunlight Bodhisattva, all-encompassing moonlight Bodhisattva. The all-encompassing or omnipresent means they're everywhere. They're always there. But there are also many Buddhas and Bodhisattvas or deities. It is to stress that during Homa, which deities descend and which deities retinue or assembly all descend, all come. Like today, because we perform Padma Kumara Homa, of course Padma Kumara definitely descended. He's here for sure. He accepted all the offerings from this fire offering. So we did the Padma Kumara, so all Padma Kumara's retinues are here too. It's to stress. It doesn't mean that the others don't come. Some people just join the crowd. If you are a gambler, then you would know what it means to be just the sight onlookers. But the key deity definitely descends, and they would descend on Grandmaster's body. So therefore, Grandmaster would say which deity would come. Like when you do your practice, of course your yidam would come, your guru would come, your protector would come. And how about the rest? They are just onlookers. So we are just stressing that for which ceremony, which deity descended. It doesn't mean that the others don't come. I cannot introduce all of them, because if I do, then we don't have to have any Dharma teaching. No more time left for anything else. Because Buddhas and gods are everywhere. There was a period of time at the Taiwan temple. Every time Grandmasters perform Homa, and they just took photos of the sky, of the space. They're all circles of lights. And there's one deity inside one prajna light, circle of light. If I introduce all of them, then I don't need to, there's no more time to say any Dharma teaching. So therefore, I just introduce the main deity and the retinues. So that's what I want to tell Moaji. So it doesn't mean there are no Buddha's lights. Like at the Taiwan Lechang Temple, when during each ceremony they take photos to the sky, and there are many uncountable deities descending. But I would not be able to introduce them all. So the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas' spirit lights are omnipresent, like Vairocana Buddha. That's the great sun, Tathagata, or the call, all-encompassing great sun, Tathagata, which means it's omnipresent. It is present everywhere. Of course, we are not performing Vairocana Homa. Therefore, we don't say anything about him, but actually he's omnipresent, or the sunlight, all-encompassing Bodhisattva, all-encompassing moonlight Bodhisattva. They are everywhere. They are omnipresent. So, primarily, I would just mention the key, the main deity, the Yidam, and his family, a relative or retinue. The second question, the breathing of ordinary beings is convenient chi. A sadhaka guides this convenient chi to enter the central channel, then it becomes wisdom chi. Yet the central channel is made up or illusory. So is the wisdom chi tangible with form or intangible? When the mind merges with chi, is it the wisdom chi? Please resolve my confusion. Also asked by Moji. This was also a good question. So the breathing of ordinary beings is convenient chi. So the chi that does not enter central channel is called the convenient chi. And chi that enters central channel is called the wisdom chi. And the question is, the central channel is illusory. It's made up, it's thought of. So is the wisdom chi tangible with form or intangible? When the mind merges with chi, is it the wisdom chi? This is also a good question. It's a thought of channels. However, you need to empty your whole body. So what's left are the three channels: left channel, right channel, and central channel. And these three channels meet at the lower dantian. And the central channel reaches the apex, the crown chakra, and at the lower part to the base chakra. That's central channel, from crown chakra to base chakra. It is visualized, however, you have to treat it as real. So when you breathe in the convenient chi through the left and right channels to the lower dantian, and then when you hold your breath, that's letting the chi stay in, then you need to visualize qi from those two channels to enter central channel. So when you hold your breath, the two qis enter central channel, and then it becomes wisdom qi. And you have to think this way. So is visualization real then? Of course we know, not necessarily. However, in the future it will become real after you practice until you completely master it. Then all the qi becomes the true qi, which is the qi inside the central channel. In the beginning, they were all fake. You're faking it, but eventually they would become real. So we say that Buddha Dharma or Taoist practices, we make use of the fake things to practice the real thing. So we make use of the fake body to practice the real truth. The so-called left and right channels are fundamentally unreal or fake, but when the qi enters, then eventually they become real. So eventually, at the end, the central channel, the left and right channels all become real. Or the 72,000 channels are all real. So that's how it is. My answer to you. Air is tangible. Air has form, but you see it as no form. Like when the plane is taking off, like the stewardess from Seattle, Lucy, often says, such a huge piece of iron or metal, how can they fly in the sky with the jet expulsion? How come it doesn't fall to the ground? It can fly in the sky or in the air. And it's not because of the propeller, but because there's air inside it that holds it up. But you cannot see air. It has no form, air, but also tangible air. Like in the Kung Fu novel of China, when they practice Qigong or practicing Qi, that they can kill a cow across the mountain. That's the power of Qi. So is the Qigong or power of Qi tangible or intangible? It's intangible. You slap it with Qigong. So those novels are incredible. The 18 pounds of Xianglong, or a young finger, or pointing at the pressure points, or the frog, the frog kung fu, take in breath and becomes like a toad. And then when they exhale the qi can kill people. So that's called qigong. So there are many lineage gurus who are masters of qi. So although the qi are intangible, but they are also tangible. So all kinds of things rely on qi. Like the steam machines or steamers, they rely on the steam, right? That's also qi. There are many things that rely on qi. And if you say they're intangible, they are intangible. But if you say they're tangible, yeah, they are tangible too. We often say that human beings is just fighting for a breath, and the Buddha's fighting for a stick of incense. So if you breathe in and you don't breathe out, then you die. If you don't believe it, just close off your nose. Then you can tell whether the qi is tangible or intangible. If you don't breathe in that intangible qi, then you would be airless and dead. You will die. Or you put a plastic bag to close off your head, so there's no air going in. Then in a short time that your head will topple and die, and you will die. So that's intangible qi, but also tangible. So this answer should satisfy you. If you are not satisfied, try it for yourself. You can't see it, but it's there. If you don't believe it, then you can stop breathing and see. Next, from Taiwan, Lianhua Sijun. At work, I am often bullied by my co-workers. My superior not only ignores this, he even protects these weasels because of favoritism towards relatives. When I practice at home, all sorts of unfair treatments appear in my brain. So, the more I practice, the angrier I get. The more I practice, the more my rage and resentments. So I often let it out on my family. So here I am repenting to Grandmaster. Please teach me what I should do. I know I have to abide by the precepts, but towards these selfish co-workers, it's really difficult to give rise to loving kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity. Asked by Lianhua Sijun. Are you a man or a woman? Because the name can be used by a man and a woman. The name can be used for both a man or woman.
在职场经常被霸凌。
At work, often bullied. So during Dhamma practice, the more he practices, or the angrier, and then lashing at family members. That's not right. Because psychologically, it's like what's it called? Transferring the anger. You cannot get angry to the coworkers, so you get angry at the family members. So you transfer the anger to the family members. So that's should not be allowed. This often happens about bullying. Grandmaster in school, because I was the shortest, the smallest. In first grade, everybody asked us to line up from the tallest one to the right, the first and the smallest one on the left. I'm always the last one on the left. And start to count from the smallest one. And then to the tallest one. Typically over 40 or over 60 students in the class. In elementary school, typically over 60 students in a class. So the one that calls one would stay, and then the two move forward, three move backward. So that's the class, the pair of the class. That's how it was. And then they lined up to enter class. I'm always last. So I always sit in the front row near the door. I always sit there because I was the smallest one. So the classmates behind me, and they would punch. So punch on my head. And then I turn back and say, "Why did you hit me?" "I didn't hit you, I was just stretching." Then they would punch me on my head. I was often bullied in elementary school, junior high school, senior high school. But although the body is small, but the aspiration or the spirit is high, it's big. So people are like that. They always bully the weak and the small. Those who are strong and tall always bully the weak and the small. So I think you must be pretty small and weak. How is your figure? If you're huge, and tall and strong. If you're a man,
高大又魁梧，哪个敢欺负你？
would there be anybody
就把他打死。
bullying you? Then you can kill with one
你
punch.
是男生，
If you're a
如果你是
man
女生，
with huge
练
figure,
过跆拳道，
and if you're a
练过
woman
跆拳道，
and you have a train in taekwondo, anybody dares to bully you?
所以师尊在这里建议莲花师君，
So my suggestion
如果你
is,
是女生，你去练
if Lianhua Sijun, you're a woman, you train taekwondo, learn taekwondo,
或者是练少林武功，
or Shaolin martial art.
当人家知道你是跆拳道的黑洞、
When people know that you hold black belt
黑带，
in taekwondo, white or black? Black.
谁敢欺负你？谁
Who dares to bully you? Nobody.
去练举拳道、跆拳道，
You practice martial arts, Shaolin or taekwondo.
没有人敢欺负你。
Well, then nobody would dare to bully
我
you.
现在建议你
So my suggestion is,
把武功练好，
train in your kung fu, in your martial arts.
练好，真的，还真的有教武功的。
Really,
记得以前我
there are classes for this.
叫做这个，
There was a disciple called
我们有几个练武功的同仁，在台湾的时候，张黄敏是练
in Taiwan,
郑义信是练武
张
功的，
Huang Ming, Zheng Yixun,
习水旺是练武功的，他们三
Xu Sui Wang. They all practice martial arts.
被人家欺负，
Zheng Yixun was bullied a lot when he was little,
去练武功，
so he
练了武功以后，
trained
有一天他练
in
到
martial arts
武功很成熟，他跟
until he was very good at it, and he told the
现
teacher,
在出去
now
还有人敢欺负我？他说没有人敢欺负你。
would there be anybody dare to bully me
常常欺负
now?
他的那一位，
And the teacher said, no one.
两个
So he went to look at the person who used to bully him, and
然后看到他地上好像没有呼吸，
he fought him until he's on the ground, and it looked like he's about to lose
救过了
his
这样。
breath. So he saved him. He helped him.
所以我建议你啊，莲花师君，
So I suggest to Lianhua Sijun,
你去找一个武馆练武功，
go to that
还有很多少林寺，
martial arts studio and practice.
不用
In
怕，
Taiwan, there are many of them.
人家欺负你，
Nothing to be scared of.
他们都怕。
If they know that that you're good at martial arts, they will be scared of you.
也不会有那一种那个不公平的经历。
Then you will not have to endure unfair treatments.
不然，我教你一个方法。
Or let me teach you a
你如果
way.
是你的，
If you're a
找
woman,
一个很高大魁梧的男朋友，
then you find a tall and strong and big
这
boyfriend.
样子，大家也不敢。
And when people see you have such a boyfriend, they will not dare to bully you again.
你如果是男的，
If you're a
你就
man,
去练武功，
then you just train in martial arts.
谁也不敢欺负你。
Then nobody will dare to bully you again. Grandmaster, what should I do? Now I have taught you. Practice your martial arts until you master it. After 1, 2, 3 years, nobody will dare to bully you anymore. You dare to bully me? I would kick you with a certain stance. Then or practicing Chinna. Like if someone punch you, then you hold and then you use it the opposite way, and then you pull and press, then he would not be able to stand it. If somebody is bullying you, then you just catch his arm and if someone hug you from behind, then you tuck in your abdomen and then push in your both hands and then pull it apart. Then his arms would become weak. There are many ways. So I think it's best to practice martial arts. Otherwise, you have to learn from grandmasters about the immeasurable loving kindness, immeasurable compassion, immeasurable joy, and immeasurable equanimity. And you just say, it's okay, no big deal. Because at this time you are being taught to practice endurance and patience. Of the 6 paramitas of bodhisattvahood starts from here to train in endurance, to train in patience. When you're being bullied, then you think that they are teaching you endurance. Once you master this endurance and patience, it'll be incredible. So endurance of the 6 paramitas. Let me tell a joke. Xiaoming said, Xiaoming suggested to a girl that woman loves something that can be kept for a long time. Woman likes things that can be kept for a long time, and on the second day, he received a diamond ring. And then Xiaoming told Xiaozhu, you can say that to your boyfriend. And then Xiaozhu replied, I have tried this method long ago, and then the second day what I got was a preservative, a bag of preservative. You should kick out such boyfriend. You don't want them anymore. He does not understand the hearts of women. One day, I got to know to a friend who studies in Korea. And one day I asked her, is it very popular to, plastic surgery is very common in Korea? And the friend said, oh, nothing. But at the beginning of every semester, everybody should introduce themselves again. So that must be bad. I saw it somewhere. Like a beauty contest. Attended by almost 20 people. And they all look alike. Beauty contest. Their faces look the same. Oh my God. Grandmaster, today is 77, Taiwanese year. Counting. If I have money and I have free time, I will definitely go to Korea. I will go to Korea. And I would point to a young star, and I want that kind of face and figure. And I would live there for 1 year. And when I come back, nobody will recognize me. And you would say, how old are you? And I would say, 27. You use the skin from your behind on your face. And the eyes, make it big. To make you more lively, more vitality, eyebrows, and the lip color is made really red and with white teeth. And the skin is fair and smooth and soft. And then better shape of this face, and then plant a few more hair. Amitabha. Even Amitabha Buddha will not recognize me. Let's talk about Lamdre. Of this, the first emptiness has fault due to the existing reality and forms, though by stopping their functions and visualizing them to become emptiness. The contemplative house of the young character becomes empty due to contemplation. All kinds of sightings of the realms are stopped to become emptiness. So the first emptiness has fault. Why? Because of the existing reality. You just visualize it to be empty. You just visualize it to be empty. The small action to remedy is the four abidings. As in the verse, quote, one celestial yidam, end quote. The mind visualizing one's own body to become yidam is the body mindfulness, secretly hinting deity mindfulness to repeatedly summon and merge into the wisdom sattva, and the mantra mindfulness reset the yidam's mantra. The first kind of emptiness is you visualize yourself to become yidam, you chant yidam's mantra, and because it's emptiness by stopping the functions. So the first kind of emptiness has fault. So visualizing your own bodies to become yidam is the body mindfulness. Secretly hinting deity mindfulness to repeatedly summon and merge into the wisdom sattva. When you practice Vajrasattva, that's how you practice it. The verse, in quote, the need for visualization to retract and extend, end quote, is, in quote, Dharma mindfulness, end quote. The required visualization of the 6 adornments. So Vajrasattva has 6 adornments, 2 anklets and 2 bracelets, and on the fingers rings, and 2 necklaces on his chest. Those are the 6 adornments. You have to visualize them. You visualize yourself becoming Vajrasattva and yourself disappear. So that kind of emptiness is emptiness with form. It still has fault. It's not the real emptiness. So the 6 adornments, the required visualization for 6 adornments. For paying homage to the Acharya Vajra holder, adorned with crown wheel. On the Vajra Acharya holder, not to hear evil words, adorned with earrings, to chant mantra continuously, adorned with necklace. Because you continuously chant mantra, there are 2 necklaces on your chest. To stop killing living beings, adorned with amulets and bracelets and anklets, and to rely on mudra adorned with belts. So the belts, the belt is to bind the physical consort. That's why you need belts. The phrase, in quote, retract and extend, end quote, is a flaw in the translation. It should be Sanskrit mudra plus hand. It should have been the required visualization of the hand gestures. The necessity to visualize the mudra. So it's not physical consort, but it's the visualized consort or the wisdom consort. So this piece is talking about the fault of the first kind of emptiness, but it is also teaching you how to practice. Of course, this is Tibetan style, You want to visualize Vajrasattva. Visualize Vajrasattva. You visualize his crown. That's also an adornment. His necklaces, his earrings. Visualize his rings. His bracelets, anklets, belts, and the belts of, because he's together with the wisdom mudra or wisdom consort. So visualize the dual body of Vajrasattva. Once you visualize it, he's sitting on top of your head. Then you visualize the 1,000-petaled white lotus blossom on top of your head, and visualize the lotus stalk enter into your body. And from the secret area of Vajrasattva and his consort, there would be nectar secreted and enter through the lotus stalk into your body. It's pure white. And then your own karma would be expelled as tiny bugs from skin pores. And the milky white nectar enter into your body. And then it becomes the karmic black karmic water. And then you visualize the earth to crack open. And then you visualize all the karmic creditors and the god of death, and also all your attached spirits and karmic creditors, and to feed them until they fill. And then you close the earth again. You let the earth to close off again. This is a method of practicing Vajrasattva together in union with the root guru. So the root guru is completely identical with Vajrasattva. That's one method. So this is right. It's the way to practice. The verse include equipartition meditation include. When you have reached a clear, transparent body, then you enter into the union of mind and qi with this meditation. Then you transform to become emptiness. Together with the present partition dual execution, one is liberated from the difficulty of confronting empty part. All phenomena give rise to the supreme altar wheel. All sounds give rise to the secret mantra, and the mind is able to feel the robust continuum of the great bliss. In this way, it is called the marginally robust graduated stage. Once your karma is eradicated, your whole body is milky white, because your karma has been transformed to become little bugs exiting from your skin pores, and has been transformed into black water that flow to the ground. And with this you enter meditation. So that would be the marginally robust graduated stage. Slightly robust. The practice method that I just explained. If I did not explain, you would not understand this whole excerpt. But after my explanation, the 6 adornments, there are many of them. For Vajrasattva is wearing the 5 Buddha crown. You need to visualize it clearly. You want to visualize his wearing earrings. You visualize his wearing rings. Visualize his wearing bracelets and anklets. Visualize his wearing 3 garments in the upper body and 3 garments in the lower body, and then with belt that tie the consort, the wisdom consort. You have to be able to visualize. The consort of Vajrasattva is called Tana. Is she called Tana? Yes, I remember it. Then at this moment you enter meditation. So the graduated stage, the slightly robust graduated stage. Now this piece is very clear. Now you all know with my explanation. So this is talking about the combined practice of Vajrasattva and the root guru. The policeman asked, Grandma, someone was robbing your golden bracelet. How come you didn't cry for help? And the Amma replied, but as soon as I open my mouth, they'll discover that my mouth is filled of gold teeth. That would be worse. There was a shop that keep a parrot at the front door, and he would say welcome every time there's someone coming to the shop. And a young lady did not believe that, and she keeps going back and forth 6 times. And then the parrot kept saying, welcome, 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 welcome. And finally, the parrot got frustrated. On the 7th time, the parrot got angry. Boss, some silly dude is playing your bird. See, even the parrot is being bullied. It's a joke about a dumb idiot. There was a book that the title said, after you read this book, you'll resolve 50% of your problems. So someone bought 2 books. Isn't it a moron? It's really an idiot. This book will resolve 50% of your problems, so he bought 2 books. Don't you think that's idiotic? It's so stupid. The idiot would do that. Idiot did that, but for me, I buy only 1 book, but I read it twice. Still idiot. I think the person who writes this, the translator of this Lamdre into Chinese, or the person who writes this Lamdre, who reads Lamdre or explains Lamdre, the person who explains Lamdre are really all idiots. This ends English interpretation today. Thank you very much.